Hey guys, Doug McWilliams here, author of The Evolution of Love, How a New Paradigm Frees Us from Fear, yada, yada, yada. As you know, I read books, and watch movies, and constantly come across ideas that I can either resonate with and play off of and try to help illuminate the wisdom behind it, or see things that I think deserve critique, I guess. Reading a book called The Celestine Prophecy, which is a novel, just a story, right? About this manuscript they find from 500 years ago that talks of this time of spiritual awakening, destined for the late 20th century, which to me is clear as happening. Things are changing quickly. Good book, and having been through the things I've been through in my life, I realize now is why I have to write my novel, which is the next big project I'm working on, or screenplay. But the story has to be told, because I know it was given to me so that I could help someone else, maybe centuries from now, because they will go through similar experiences. And this, my friends, is how we help each other. It's through stories, metaphor, myth, poems, songs. But they talk about one of the insights or revelations that humanity needs to wake up to is the way we think about romantic love, this neediness, what they call addiction, and how unhealthy it is. But guys, that's why I wrote my freaking book and I'm doing these videos. The world you live in has yet to come to grips with the very nature of romantic. How do we think about it? How do we express it? How do we make it healthy? And why it's possessive and jealous and neediness, and then turns to bitterness should it not last, then it's messed up. It's a child's version of love, and so detrimental. There's massive suffering for our lack of understanding. I'm just going to read this part from the book, though. So, quote, he said that the idea of an addiction, as used in this manuscript, explains why power struggles arise in romantic relationships. We've always wondered what causes the bliss and euphoria of love to end. Well, I talk about that, guys. It's a chemical reaction. It doesn't last forever. Know that. To suddenly turn into conflict. And now we know. Well, I elaborate on that. But anyway, here we go. It is a result of the flow of energy between the individuals involved. When love first happens, the two individuals are giving each other energy unconsciously, and both people feel buoyant and elated. That's the incredible high we call being in love. And yes, obviously I'm interjecting here. Yes, it's a high. It's the effect of a drug. It's the same thing. I say that from a scientific standpoint. The way that the brain releases these chemicals that make us feel good and obsessed, it is a drug. And songwriters use that analogy, and it's power. It's true. But what happens with drugs? Amongst other, it wears off. There has to be novelty and newness to keep getting that same high. And I think so many couples expect that this high is going to last. I'm telling you, it's not going to last. Know that, accept that, and be ready to deal with it, and then make a decision about what the relationship's going to be. But there's just this massive, stunning amount of ignorance about it. And again, it causes real consequences. Back to the book. Unfortunately, once they expect this feeling to come from the other person, they cut themselves off from the energy in the universe and begin to rely even more on the energy from each other. Only now, there doesn't seem to be enough. So they stop giving each other energy and fall back into their dramas in an attempt to control each other and force the other's energy their way. At this point, the relationship degenerates into the usual power struggle. End of quote. End of the book. And that's my style of love. I'm not here to control anybody. You don't have to stay with me. I want you to be happy and free. And so long as you're here, knowing that, then I know that it's working. And the point that it's not working, it's not going to rock my boat. There's no need for control. You live it and experience it while it's there. And anything beyond that, you're just faking it. And ask why. Revolutionary, yeah. Iconoclastic, yes. And that's not my intention to be controversial. I'm just saying it works. Works for me. I'm not afraid of love, not afraid to fall in love. No one's going to break my heart. And knowing, trusting that they'll be better off for the experience too. That it won't be this dramatic, traumatic thing should it not last. So again, the book referenced there is Celestine Prophecy. I guess it's part of a big series. And yeah, hope that works for you. Wish you well. Bye.